Stupid Garbage Podcast.
Oh, I like that.
All right.
Chicka chicka boom. Happy anniversary of the Kent State Massacre, dear reader. May 4th.
Jesus.
It's 2:36.
May the 4th be with you.
We can watch Star Wars, actually, if you want.
I'd love that.
Okay.
I'd love that.
Oh, you're so sweet.
So Robert has been saying that
Hold on. I was in the middle of something.
Okay.
2:36, dear reader. PM. It's the afternoon. Really flipping the script on you. Go ahead,
Robert's
Jess.
gone to bed early a couple nights in a row, and I think we should not post yesterday's or 2 days ago because it was garbage. So we're like...
Well, there are... In
No.
defense, they are all garbage.
But it was literally just you and me fighting. It was just like a really weird, awkward, tense...
We don't have to post it. I don't care.
Yeah, let's not.
Fuck you, fuckers.
It was like a 10-minute mini-sode, and like... I said I wanted to...
That. I think
What?
it was like 18.
Really?
It was pretty long. It felt very long.
I don't think it was that long, though.
I think you're wrong.
Okay, we'll check.
Alright.
Anyway,
How are you, darling?
I'm good. I was saying Robert has a thing about Star Wars where he thinks that, like, I like Star Wars. I was Leia last year for Halloween.
And also Chewbacca.
And Chewbacca as well,
She
yeah.
was just dressed as Slave Leia and didn't shave her pubes. It's a crossover costume. No, but as I think we
I
have
owned
said...
a Chewbacca onesie.
Yeah, which was bought for you
By Robert.
by this guy.
Yeah.
I think, as we have said on the pod, my theory is that you really like some nostalgic part of the experience of watching Star Wars. The films, knowing what I know about the films you like, I think you would hate. Really hate Star Wars. Like the original Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like the Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, Harrison Ford original trilogy of Star Wars. I think you'd hate them.
Like, I remember when I saw one of the new Star Wars that came out, like, a couple years ago, I was like, wow, these...
when we saw it...
Excuse me.
Sorry.
I was like, wow, these transitions are... Yeah, my stomach hurts a little, so I have
Okay.
chills.
Do you want to stop?
In a second, when I'm done with this thought.
All right.
Basically, yeah, like, I saw the transitions, like, how it's like, and, like, the screen, like, kind of just goes from left to right to the next scene. And I was like, this is shit. This is absolute garbage. And you're like, no, Jess, this was in the original Star Wars.
You also said, the thing I remember was that you said, whatever the new villain's name is, not Snoke, it's Mr. Mistopheles. Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat, whatever his name is, the big weird face looking guy, he appears in a giant hologram, and you said that was so nerdy and stupid. And I said, in the original Star Wars trilogy, Palpatine's head is like 8 feet tall.
But I don't think it was as nerdy.
It was the same. It's the same exact thing. If you have a problem with giant holograms,
so Robert and I are gonna rewatch it. Is the point, and I'm gonna determine whether or not that's accurate. He might be totally right. Like, I feel like if I rewatch like the Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, like, I might hate them more than I remember.
Lord of the Rings, I think you would definitely tolerate more.
Yeah.
If you recall, Jessica, about yourself, you hate any movie longer than like 93 minutes.
Well.
And each Lord of the Rings movie is like 3 hours plus.
Yeah. And
I think the extended
we
version...
did a marathon in college of the full extended...
I think the extended editions of the entire trilogy is like 13 hours, which is more than 4 hours a movie.
Here's the thing. First of all, yes, and I did see all of those, and I did end up... I mean, I brought my laptop, so I don't know how much attention I was paying, but I
Zero
do remember liking it.
Attention was paid.
And yeah, like, I like that fantasy shit, and Aragorn is my personal hero.
You have a Lord of the Rings tattoo on your body.
I do. So, look. Anyway, I'll be RB.
I'll be H. Seamless transition. Anyway, what was I even talking about?
Star Wars and Lord of the Rings?
Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I had since moved on, I think.
I don't think so.
You were talking about something.
Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
Alright, well, dust in the wind now. So, how are you doing? What are you bringing to the pod?
Nothing.
Today.
So...
I'm just fine as angel pubes. How are you? Thanks for asking.
You've mentioned the word pubes at least twice so far, and it seems like...
It's a puby
pod. Anyway, I don't know. It's funny that you bring up pubes so much as someone who is completely bald down there from lasers, or what's it called?
It was a chemical accident. a truck full of radioactive waste careened into me, and I lost the ability to grow any hair below my neck, but in return, I have superpowered hair on the top of my head.
Actually, that's true.
I swing from building to building like Spider-Man. Again, as I said before, the gayest of all superheroes.
I don't know.
Which is a pretty difficult title to claim.
It is.
Because they're all kind of inherently gay.
Spider-Man is the gayest of all
Again,
superheroes.
he flicks his wrist
to
swing from web to web. I don't know.
The wrist flick, though, is,
Go ahead.
Is that it? Is that the only reason why he's the gayest? His suit is extraordinarily thin.
Yeah,
and extraordinarily
spandex and pretty flamboyant. Nominate a candidate who you think should usurp him. Who should take the crown and succeed him.
I mean, it's funny because I feel like Ryan Reynolds, to me, has a little gay vibe to him. That when he... What?
Go ahead.
Like, he does a couple little quips as Deadpool.
If I may.
Sure.
Ryan Reynolds is not a superhero. I understand the confusion, given that he's played, I guess, 3 now. But
who? Deadpool, Green Lantern.
He was also, I don't remember who he played, but he was in Blade 2, I think. I think he was the villain in that. I don't know why I say I don't remember. I've only seen Blade 1, and I don't remember him being in it. So Weird. I don't think he was in Blade 1, so I don't know what he played in Blade 2. I do know that he was in it, though.
Okay.
Anywho.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, Ryan Reynolds always plays someone that has a little bit of, a cheeky... I don't know, he just, I don't know. I mean, in Deadpool, he was super straight in that he had a long-term girlfriend.
Overruled. None of this supplants...
I don't know. Let me think.
None of this undermines Spider-Man's superiority.
And again, I mean no offense to the gay community, but...
But you have to claim Spider-Man, I'm sorry. He's a gay icon.
I mean, again, I don't think he's that gay.
Alright, so Spider-Man it is. Anyway, as I've asked
Doesn't he wear makeup, too, in the second one?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he wears, black eyeliner when he turns Venomy.
In Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I'm not talking about well, maybe I am. I'm not really talking about individual portraits, because there are some really, the Schumacher Batman, as we talked about. There are some more flamboyant depictions of superheroes than others. I just mean at the core, you can't make a straight Spider-Man. You can't make a straight any of them. They're not. They're all. I mean, they electively wear the spandex and the whole.
Sure.
It doesn't matter, the capes, but I'm saying
it's performance wear.
Yeah, I guess. Although if Spider-Man had a cape, he'd be running away with this thing. It wouldn't even be close. I mean, he would be twice as gay as whoever is the silver medalist.
I'll think about it.
Would be the silver medalist. I don't know, Gambit. Any of the X-Men really are probably a bunch of dudes living in the same. It doesn't matter. Spider-Man is number 1. Moving on, as I've asked, I think 4 times now, what do you have?
So I'm watching a new show, and it's called...
X-Ray?
What?
X-Ray?
No.
Damn it.
I'm watching a new show, and it's called Upload.
Oh, so close.
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
Prime.
Sure.
Video.
Yep.
And,
on the computer. Internet.
Windows.
Google Chrome.
Yeah. Windows 10. And, basically, first of all, there's the depiction. So basically, the premise of the show is that you are, before you die, you can elect to be you can upload your brain and your body.
Me specifically?
Anyone.
Oh, okay.
Stop it. Into this afterlife that is created for you, and it has customer service agents servicing you, and blah blah blah. So
like a brothel. I get it.
Anyway. So, it's funny because their depiction of the afterlife, the one that we're looking at is called Lakeside. That's the brand or something, Lakeview. And it's funny because that is set physically, I'm pretty sure, in Mohonk, New York.
Okay.
Which is a resort that my family...
I'm sure all of the readers know what that is.
I think it's...
Let's just leave it at that.
But I'm saying it was a place that my family has gone multiple times.
They know Mohonk. Who doesn't?
No, I'm not explaining Mohonk. I'm just saying it's funny.
Why would you need to?
Because I've literally, like, I looked at it and I was like, holy shit, I've been there. Like, I have pictures almost identical to the ones that they're showing. It was really cool, and we've been trying to get you to go to Mohonk with the family. But it was
too Jewish. Not allowed in the country clubs.
You're too Jewish?
Yep.
Oh.
That's the joke. Are you? I don't.
Yeah, it was.
Go ahead.
I thought it was really funny, and I
Right.
was like, they didn't obviously address it because it's supposed to be fictionalized.
Yep.
But I was like, bro, I've been here.
Yep. A couple things. One, Lakeview Terrace, I think, is a terrible, terrible movie with Samuel L. Jackson, and I also think it's the.
Have I seen it? Probably.
Let me look it up. It's a movie with. He doesn't pretend. He is. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's pretending he's an actor, but he's. Please don't spit on me. It's a 2008, as this describes it, American crime thriller wherein Samuel L. Jackson, he's a police officer and he hates interracial couples for some reason.
I think I've seen this.
I think like his wife leaves him. Samuel L. Jackson, in quite the stretch of his acting ability, plays a black man, and his wife leaves him, and presumably for a non-black man. I don't know, something weird. And it's horrible. It's terrible. But I thought that Lakeview Terrace was also the Simpsons address was like 739 Lakeview Terrace. Evergreen Terrace, damn it. Well,
Idiot.
that's close.
You're so stupid.
So anyway, okay, again, I don't mean to derail, particularly for a visual bit. Are you drinking coffee out of a mug with no handle? And are you perching it on a single knuckle like it's a pet canary? And to all of that, follow-up question, why? And follow-up question to that, please don't.
I don't know what it is about balancing coffee, but I always feel like I need to do it.
What the fuck does that mean? What?
I don't know.
Who says that? Who has
Like,
that compulsion?
You yell at me for balancing coffee on my knee sometimes.
You're
Yeah, I'm not balancing it. I'm just straight up drinking it like
Jessica,
this.
I'm dumbfounded. I found you and you're dumb. I'm flabbergasted. What, not even just any liquid? Coffee specifically?
Yeah, it's just coffee. It's just mugs. So I think if there was a different liquid in here, I'd probably be doing a similar thing, but, yeah.
What the okay, another thing. Stop sipping your coffee. It's horrible radio.
You rushed me.
I didn't rush you.
Yeah,
I said you want to do a pod, and an hour and a half later you called up and said, I'm ready if you are, and then you came upstairs. That's what happened.
Dear reader.
You could have taken 20 minutes to drink your coffee, or you could have come up an hour earlier.
Excited. You wanted me to
I
be
know,
here.
and yeah, I did, and you still made me wait for an hour and a half.
I need to eat.
That's fine. It shouldn't take you.
It did.
It took precisely an hour and a half. I asked you if you want to pod with me at like 1, and you came up at, as I told the dear readers, 2:36.
No, I left here at 2:44. Or
I'm sorry,
1:44.
Jessica,
I literally took a screenshot.
What did you?
When I was
what
leaving
did you
the room.
eat?
I had cold sesame noodles.
Sure.
A popsicle.
Okay.
And yogurt.
No, that should have taken you 15 minutes to eat that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I don't know. I have to like make the noodles. Like I have to, do the soy sauce and the sugar and the garlic and the ginger.
Turn this into a cooking podcast hosted by someone who can't cook.
How weird would that be?
So,
because Rob has a cooking podcast, you see?
Well, it's a YouTube channel and it's terrible, and also, don't mind your own business.
Okay. So anyway, fucking hell. So Mohonk is great, but as a side note to that, I wanted to ask you if you would upload yourself if you had the opportunity. Basically, like, you have to pay for it. Like, I think you have to pay to keep the people. It's like, they make it seem like it's like a cell phone plan where it's like, oh, if you have unlimited data, you get the Lakeview Terrace view.
I get it. Is it a comedy?
Okay. I don't know.
How much of it have you watched?
I don't know. 4 episodes?
And you don't know if it's a comedy?
I don't know.
Okay, do you, and hear me out when I ask you this. Do you watch the shows you're watching?
I don't think that,
Or are
like...
you just running them on the background of your computer, like, as a diagnostics test?
I have a hard time determining whether or not something's, like, a comedy or not. Like, I feel like I laugh at everything. Like, even serious shows I laugh at, so I don't know...
What the fuck are you talking about?
How to tell.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's particular... No, I don't think it's a comedy, per se.
Okay, so it's...
Do I laugh sometimes? Yes. Would I qualify it as a comedy? No.
I'm gonna look this up. What's it called?
Upload?
X-ray. Upload.
But anyway, it's a pretty interesting show. Yeah. And it's a little weird. And so there's a scene where he first turns, like, he gets... Spoiler alert, dear readers, the main character gets uploaded.
Upload is an American science fiction comedy satire web television series.
Okay. I guess it is a comedy.
Created by Greg Daniels. I thought he was one of the creators of The Office, too.
Okay.
Okay, you're right.
Great.
Right,
I was in the middle of a sentence.
You're right, go ahead.
Oh, so the main character gets uploaded, right? And in the scene, his... I don't want to spoil too much, but, like, basically there's a scene where there's a body, and the body just plops down on, like, a bed, or like a morgue table, basically, and, like, you get that up the ass shot, and, like, you know that little bit of a dude where, like, in between their balls and their butt, there's just this, like... Yeah, but it's like fluffy, kind of, like it's plush.
Jessica, this can't be...
It was just such a...
This podcast can't be 100% pube-based. It's just not viable. I understand... Listen to me. I understand, believe me, as much as anyone, the temptations of doing a pube-based media.
Okay, well...
But it's a goose chase. It's a fool's errand. It's not going to yield us the sort of returns that you think it will. You're going to find there's plenty of content, but it just gets surprisingly repetitive.
My point
Believe me, I've gone down this road before.
I'm going to keep going anyway.
Yeah.
So the corpse just, like, falls onto the table, and you just get up the ass, just, like, right into the taint shot, and it is my least favorite angle of any...
I think Hitchcock pioneered that. What? The fuck?
But I was just like, why is this happening to me? And
why is this happening to me?
Yeah, well... And
I didn't even watch the show.
I'm just saying, like, the sex scenes are a little bit,
too puby?
Vivid? I don't know. I don't know. So that I was just like... Because my dad was the one that suggested. He was like, oh, that looks like a good show. And I was like, oh, I've actually been thinking of watching it. And I was thinking, like, thank God we were not watching this together, because it would have made me super uncomfortable. So I'm just saying, if anyone thinks this is a family friend, it's not. But it is good so far. Some of the parts were a little cheesy, but, you know, c'est la vie.
Every time I ask you what you're bringing to the pod, you either don't have an answer or you have an answer that makes me regret asking you.
My point is, would you want to be uploaded? That was
certainly not the point you made.
I asked you.
You did, and then you went on this again.
Look, Rob, if
tangent.
You don't like what I bring to the pod, you cannot get mad at me for not prepping. Either you accept my prep.
Do good prep. That's what I'm
asking. I have asked you
you
specifically what you want me to do for prep, and you give me nothing, so this is what you get.
Okay, I have a couple of qualms with this. One, I ask you to do two things. One, prep. Two, make the prep worthwhile. I think
this is a perfectly valid...
Point one. Point two...
I feel like this is worthwhile.
Point two, you didn't do prep. You're just watching TV and you're talking about your TV watching.
I wrote down, you fat fuck, would you upload yourself? Fuck you, didn't prep. Suck a dick, Robert.
Why didn't you start with the top two questions?
I don't write in order.
What did you want to be... when you're saving a lot of time by just writing the letters instead of the full words, grow up. Or question number two, which of the 7 dwarves are you?
Yeah, I was looking at a fucking website.
I don't know, date rape you. Who cares, man?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't say those.
All right, so
I've asked you so many times if you could give me a general hint as to how you would prefer that I prep, and you refuse.
You're right. Would I
So you
upload
cannot-
myself?
Yes. And I think this is a good conversation. Like, it doesn't have to be like a, what door for you? Happy. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, this is a
I'm
conversation.
definitely not happy right now. Yeah, I'd upload myself. Why wouldn't I?
I don't know.
It only applies after you die, right?
Well, yes.
So.
But you have to do it while you're still alive. So I think
I
it's
get
like
that.
a weird. I think you have to know.
Are you or are you not watching the show?
I mean, they say that you have to be alive. So it's not like, oh, my grandmother died yesterday, so can we upload her? It's like, no. You need to, like, have an upload plan before death, and you need to die in a way that, like, your body is, like, you need to become a vegetable.
Like a ghost, yeah, I get it.
My thing is so basically one of the main characters, her father, she wants him to be uploaded, and spoiler alert, he says, no, I want to be with your mother, because she passed, and I want to, go be with her.
Stupid.
And he's like, I can't explain why I feel this way, but this is how I feel. And she's like, that's really dumb, Dad. And
Dumb. She's right.
But I think if I believed in heaven, I don't think I would want to be uploaded. So I think it's an interesting question. Like, if there's a heaven that God created, and there's a heaven that man created.
Man was made in God's image. What does God know? A couple things to that point. One, it's interesting the distinction between a lot of these things. Like, the difference between a parable from the Bible and a joke is oftentimes if you just believe in God or not, like, well, no, it's not.
I'm still laughing at that.
Fine, that's fine.
I know that wasn't supposed to be a joke, but, like...
So there's a story or joke wherein a man is out at sea in a fishing boat, and a wave hits it and the boat capsizes and sinks, and so he's just bobbing along in the ocean, and he prays up to God. He says, God, please save me. And a boat comes along and says, do you want help? And the man says, no, God will provide for me. God will save me through his grace. And so the first boat says, okay. And then another boat comes with a fisherman in it, and he says, do you want help? I can bring you to land. I just grab onto this. And no, God will provide for me. And then a helicopter comes by and says, do you want us to scoop you up and just bring you? And no, God will provide for me. And so, the man drowns eventually and gets up to the gates of heaven, to the pearly gates, and says to God, I prayed for you and asked for help. Why didn't you help me? And God says, I sent a boat, another boat. I sent a helicopter. What more do you want? And so that is...
Jaden Smith quoted that to his father in Pursuit of Happiness.
What more do you want, dummy? That's what he's...
Yeah.
So it's a joke if you believe God doesn't exist and ha, stupid idiot.
Yeah.
But I guess it could be a parable either way, but it's a parable if you believe in God, wherein you are learning that God provides God helps those who help themselves, basically.
It's just so funny to me that you could believe in God at all.
I don't...
okay. Like, I have so many, as you know, diseases and stuff, and, like, every day...
Oh, yeah, you should be angry at God.
Exactly. Like, every day I wake up and I'm like, hey, man, this fucking sucks. Like, most people don't have to deal with this. And in addition to that, I have my own problems. Like, I have personal problems that, I'm unsatisfied with generally that don't have to do with my diseases. So it's like...
You're weird and your podcast sucks and your mug doesn't have a handle on it.
Exactly. Like, I'm just having a hard time with a lot of things.
Sure.
And I feel like, could you cut me a break? I don't know what the expression is.
Some slack?
I know, but can you give me a break, I guess?
Yes,
I don't know. Can you cut me a break?
No.
I want my breaks to be cut.
No, you don't cut breaks, you break them. Hence the word break.
Know.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. If I may, speaking of cuts and breaks, why is there, I'm just seeing now, an open pair of scissors sitting on the couch? What have we talked about time and time again? You don't put blades where people sit. Jess, comment. I know I didn't do that. Jessica, comment. No more coffee.
If I fits, I sits.
That's entirely irrelevant and also not your personal philosophy.
Anyway, so yes.
That was the dumbest thing you could have possibly said.
I know. This is the garbage podcast.
Green means go. What? As it rains in March, so it rains in June. What the fuck are you talking about?
Sitting, so at least
Jessica, you can't play word association with a conversation. I'm asking you a specific guided question.
I was saying something, though. Before
Gibberish. Nonsense.
Oh. I just feel like...
Gobbledygook.
You know, it's like... relatives that are dying, it's like... Ow.
Sorry. Go ahead.
What is it with pubes today?
Oh, theater of the mind. You don't know what I did. Go ahead. Dead relatives.
Yeah, like, I can't think of a single reason why my grandfather would be dead. Like, why, like, what's God's...
He was 80 and he got cancer.
Exactly, but, like, what's God's plan for him?
Well, you don't get to live forever.
I know, but, like, okay.
Well, why not?
Again, like, giving me Crohn's disease at 9 years old, like, that seems like a dick move.
It tells me that God and I, A, have a similar sense of humor, and B, frankly, on a karmic scale, as we've discussed, you deserve some terrible
I was
affliction.
not a bad kid.
I don't
I was a
believe
very
that.
sweet, kind-hearted child. Ask my mom.
Your mother is often mistaken and
Ask
a liar
my dad, then.
and biased.
Ask my dad.
Fine. I think he'll tell me something. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what always happens. You say, no, ask my mother. Like, for example, your mother tells me something saying, oh, yeah, this happened when Jessica was 14. And then I repeat it to you, and you say, no, that's not the case. Ask my mother. And then I do, and then you just say we're both wrong. And she obviously says, yeah, Jessica was 14 when this happened. You go, no, that was
Actually,
like 2021.
I was speaking with the therapist about that because I was like, ugh. Like, Rob and my mother would tell you that it's this date, but I'm telling you it's this date. And then I kept on saying it. Well, if you can go by Rob. And he's like, Jess, like, how the fuck would they know what went on in your life? And I was like, well, yes, but they don't seem to think about it like that, so.
No, man, it's because we were there.
Well, that's different.
It's not different. That's
well, my mom was there.
If you say, oh, no, that one time that I went to my room and I drew a picture of a horse and then put it on my bed for 10 years, I was 11 when I did that. I'm not going to have anything to say to that because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But when you say, yeah, remember that time we went to the Poconos in 2018 and did this thing? And I said, no, that was 2016. You go, no. How would you know?
Anyway.
You weren't there. I was there.
Anyway.
And also, we're airing our grievances. You have, as we have discussed, both privately and on the pod, you have a no-good Swiss cheese brain. When it benefits... No, don't sigh at me. Because A, you say this when it benefits you. And
this
B...
is just how you gaslight me.
I'm
not...
not...
my brain doesn't work.
No, Jessica, I'm not gaslighting you. I'm trying my best to give you little bits and pieces like Hansel and Gretel. Little breadcrumbs where you can follow your own life's narrative. Stop it. You tell me.
You're derailing.
We're not on any rails.
We're
Jessica.
talking about God and whether or not He has a plan or whatever the fuck, and you keep derailing it to talk about
God has a cruel sense of humor, which is why I'm stuck with you on this podcast.
Yeah, like what would?
You say you have a Swiss cheese brain when it benefits you, and then suddenly, and it's true, you do have a Swiss cheese brain. I've seen you and heard you, and maybe have recorded you on this podcast. Forget sentences as you're in the middle of them. You forget things as they're happening.
That's because...
It's not because of anything. It's because you have a Swiss cheese brain.
I spoke about this in therapy too. I know exactly why it is.
Fantastic. And then you'll turn around and say, no, I remember with crystal clarity this thing. And also you say that I have a memory like a steel trap.
Not really.
You say that all the time.
You say it about yourself, and I believe you, but now that I've been with you for so long, I don't agree.
See, this is what happens. When you want to prove a point, and you want to be right, you say, my memory's no good, and yours is fantastic, and then all the other times, when it benefits you,
this isn't good radio.
It's the opposite. And not only when it benefits you, when it's irrelevant, right? When you say, like, oh, did I leave my wallet here? I say, I don't know. You say, well, you're supposed to know. You're the one who remembers everything. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Have you ever heard the story of the boy who cried wolf?
No.
Have you ever heard the story of the girl who's a giant cunt? Because that one might be even more applicable.
You're so annoying.
You're an emotional terrorist.
No, I'm not.
I'm Jessica. Look at me. I'm declaring a fatwa on you.
Sorry?
Read a book. Learn a word. Learn a word.
Jessica, like that.
Oh my god. Anyone who's watched the news at any point in the last 20 years.
A fatwa?
Or who lives in the Middle East. 1 billion people who live in the Middle East.
Okay, well, if they speak the language...
Oh my god. Jessica,
that's different.
Listen to me. We've been dating for 6 years. I don't think you've taught me a single word. I teach you a word every day.
You.
No, man. Read a book. Learn a thing.
I read and I learn and you're mean.
What's the last thing you read? This is going to be a lot of dead air as you try and cycle through the empty annals of your...
Dracula.
That was like 5 months ago, and you didn't finish it.
No, it wasn't. And because
Yes,
it was hard to get through. I'm not gonna
Words. This tweet is so long.
It was boring.
I'm not disputing that it was or wasn't boring. I'm saying the last thing you read was a book you didn't finish in 2019. We're in May of 2020.
Robert.
Yeah.
We've been through this
Yeah.
so many times.
Yeah.
And also, stop belittling me constantly.
You're right.
My God.
You're right.
I find words in other places that are not books. You fucking whore.
Like fortune cookies. What?
I literally have a Pinterest board dedicated to definitions of words. Suck my dick,
Give me
Rob.
one. Give me one.
No.
This is the problem that you...
I don't remember
Right,
them.
so you have...
They just embed themselves into my vocabulary.
They
and
don't.
exist now.
You've never used them.
You don't
This
know?
is the problem. I do. Jessica, you're the only person to talk to, and vice versa. This is the problem. You see a Pinterest word, you think, ooh, polysyllabic words, fun. You pin it, or however the fuck Pinterest works, and then you don't ever look at it or think about it ever again, and you never use it.
No, and you're stupid.
And also, you don't know what it means because you don't really see it in the context of it being used in a sentence.
Robert?
Yes.
The books that I read do not have a lot of very
Words, because they're all pictures.
No, I
Pop on pop.
I used to love chick lit, and they're not really known for their weird word usages, and the word choice in a chick lit novel is not very colorful. They stick
Chiclitorous, I think it's pronounced.
Oh my God.
Chiclitoris?
It's just
either is fine.
It's not very varied.
You're struggling to find words right now. I think I know why.
Stop.
It's because all you read is chicklit.
I'm just saying, and I read a lot of Holocaust books too, and they're not very,
Something. Whatever word you might want to put here.
Oh my God.
Expansive in the vocabulary?
Yeah.
Good word, Rob.
I know that word, though.
I'm sure you do, but you couldn't find it.
Okay.
So...
But it's in there. It's not like I don't know what the word expansive means.
Right. You didn't know what the word fatwa meant, but...
What is that? I've never... From context, I'm assuming it means war, but I don't know.
Well... Yes and no. It's kind of like a cultural... It's like a cultural war. Like the if you're Muslim, you declare a fatwa on something that you want to boycott or call attention to for other Muslims to hate or scrutinize.
I would guarantee you that not a lot of people know that word. From the U.S.
I would guess that anyone over the age of 20 knows that word.
I'd argue no, but whatever.
All right. We can see at your next family dinner, we can ask people.
Sure.
Anyway, back to Unplugged.
Upload.
Just doing a joke. I thought you'd like it.
Well, I'm upset.
So Upload Unplugged, would I do it? Yes. Yeah, I agree. I don't have any problem with people believing in God necessarily, but when I saw a picture that was God, I don't even know the context of it. I didn't even know then. It was like a monk praying and a woman. It looked like a pinup from the 1940s. Ew. And a woman, with a very short dress that was showing off a lot of thigh and side butt. And the caption was resisting temptation or something. And the monk was praying up to God so that he wouldn't, be tempted to look at this woman or whatever. Believing in God is one thing, but denying yourself pleasure on earth for the promise of an afterlife that, spoiler alert, doesn't exist. It's just so stupid.
Yep.
If you want to believe the universe was created by God, okay, I can't disprove it, and I don't really care what you believe. But if you're saying I don't eat pork or have sex with women or drink alcohol or play games or leave the state of Pennsylvania or use electricity because God will be angry and I won't get into heaven. God, this is it.
Yeah.
This is all you get.
You're
ruining your own life.
The only reason that I don't think that religion is entirely the worst thing in the world is that at least the goal is to be a better person and to be nice to other people. Sure. So it's if the goal of religion was literally anything else, I would, protest it vehemently. What are you doing, Sabi? It's very distracting.
Sorry. Point.
Counterpoint, yeah.
Well, there's not really a counterpoint. You're agreeing with me. Just
No,
point,
I mean,
point.
I feel like...
2 points.
And, like, when people are
Gryffindor.
upset, they're like, oh, I know that God is doing this for a reason, and, you know, this is God's will. It's like, no, it's literally just a shit thing that happened to you. And again, it's like, if God existed, like, so many, you know, I don't think global warming would exist. I don't think that, like, you know, animals would be killed. I don't think people would be killed. Like, murder wouldn't exist. Like, I don't understand.
Well, the theory to that is that without bad, you have no good. There has to be some
That's not
sort
true,
of
though. There can just
contrast.
be good.
But then it would just be nothing.
It can be neutral and good.
Okay, but again, like, without darkness, there is no light and vice versa.
But there could be, like, you know, I think still... There's nothing that is so good that would justify, like, genocide.
Have you ever had Ben and Jerry's
chocolate
Cherry
chips.
Garcia? Yeah. Cherry
weird.
Garcia is what genocide is to bad. Cherry Garcia is to good. Doing these
I don't love
SAT,
Cherry. I mean,
whatever
fish
they're
food
called.
is my favorite Ben and Jerry's, but...
Syllogisms or whatever.
But yeah, it's like...
Here's the thing.
I get it, where it's like, oh, without...
Right.
death, you wouldn't know love, and it's like, okay,
Life
but like...
is the opposite of death, not love.
Whatever. What's the opposite of love? Like,
Hate.
hate? Yeah, but... That's what I'm
I
saying.
beg
Like,
your pardon.
but that's what I'm saying. If the worst possible thing that would happen is that I would hate someone in order to feel love, there's still no murder.
Well, again, I think the argument from a philosophical theologian's standpoint would be that the worst thing you can imagine is, say, genocide, because that's the worst that God created.
Fuck you.
God could make much worse. You've never seen it and you're uncomprehending of it because God would not do that. God only
like
gives
what, that our planet is slowly increasing in temperature, the ozone layer is being destroyed.
It's all relative. There's a scale that God set out, and
No.
the worst that you can imagine is God could make it 10 times worse, but he doesn't, because he only gives as much bad as is necessary to blah 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 blah. That's
what good has he literally ever given me?
Cherry Garcia.
No.
I can't stress enough
I would
how delicious
trade
Cherry Garcia is.
I would trade like ice cream as a whole, and you know, like I eat a popsicle for breakfast every single day.
Yep.
And for dinner. Like,
Yeah,
I
you have 2
lot of
popsicles a day. No,
yeah, I
I
have a
know.
lot of ice cream.
You buy a $6 box of popsicles every other day.
Yeah.
You have to go to the grocery store more than once a week to feed your popsicle. Frankly, addiction. You're
Sure.
addicted to popsicles. My strange addiction.
But I'm saying...
I've seen weirder ones, but yours is pretty out there.
I'm saying, though, like, I would give up ice cream as a whole for just, like...
If you also had to give up your genocide, I don't understand.
for, like, you know, a sense of security in my life, or, like, a sense of meaning at all. I'd give it up in a heartbeat. Like,
I don't think you understand the philosophical qualms of most religion or
I mean,
ethics.
I understand.
You're saying
it,
I would
just...
give up ice cream if more good things happen to me. Like, you're
No,
giving up a
because
good
you're
thing
saying...
for more
I'm
good.
saying...
Yep.
Like, what would justify all of the bad? And you're like, ice cream would.
Right.
And I'm saying I would give up ice cream. I would give up ice cream so that genocide would stop. Like, it doesn't...
Well, listen.
Where is God coming... You know, like, it doesn't make any sense. And, like, if there was a God...
Mrs. God's asshole, I don't know.
If there was a God, there would be the power to, you know... He could say, like, I'm going to make things a little bad sometimes. Like, you know... Have robbery still be a thing. That's fine. But, like, don't let people murder other people. Like, if there was a God, that would... 7-year-old kids would not get cancer if there was a God.
Again,
Come on.
it's all... You can only imagine that being the worst thing that exists because God allows that. Would you...
There's nothing worse than dying at age 8. Come on.
Dying at age 6. Bam. Easy.
Okay, some kids do that too.
Yeah. They're quite well known for it. Do you make a wish? That's the whole thing.
I know, but I'm saying, like, make a wish shouldn't exist. Like, that literally...
Bam! Take
No,
that, make
no,
a
no,
wish.
no, no,
No, you
no,
said
no,
it.
no,
Moving
no,
on.
no,
Do you
no.
have a favorite...
Jesus.
Mythical... Not mythical, but, like, a favorite fairy tale...
Tail?
No, not a favorite fairy... Like, character, I guess. Like, a favorite Santa Claus or, like, a holiday mascot, I suppose. I don't know what really to call Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny.
Dracula.
Let's keep it to kids. Let's, for this purpose, confine it to holiday or seasonal mascots. Again, what do you call the Easter Bunny? The ambassador of Easter?
I don't really care
A leprechaun?
for the Tooth Fairy. I don't care
Saint
for
Valentine?
leprechauns.
Or Cupid, if you prefer? Uncle Sam, I guess, would be the 4th of July. Thanksgiving, I don't know,
There's not
Arlo
really,
Guthrie
there's not a
or
Halloween
John
one,
Candy, maybe.
Is there?
You can pick all. You could be Jack Skellington or the Headless Horseman if you want, I suppose.
Sure.
Or some dude who puts razor blades in candy. I don't know. Whoever you want the ambassador of Halloween to be.
Yeah, probably Jack Skellington.
Cool. Why?
Why is he my favorite?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's dark and weird.
Do you know who Jack Skellington was based off of?
What's the other Halloween? Isn't there another Halloween movie that's similar that I like better?
I thought The Nightmare Before Christmas was your favorite movie, period.
No, I've said this multiple times. I feel like it kind of misses the mark a little bit.
Ooh, wow. Just going scorched earth here.
I know.
Do you know who Jack Skellington was based off
No.
of? Osama bin Laden. It's a little known fact. Little piece of movie trivia for you.
Okay, you can't just say these things and... Okay, I guess you can.
Yeah, exactly. Who's gonna stop me?
I mean, Robert's wrong. I'll stop you.
What?
That's not
I'm
true.
editing all of this out.
Okay, no, you're not. I feel like it was such a...
You'll see.
What's the... Oh, I know what I'm thinking of.
Go ahead.
I saw like a picture, you know that meme where
You're
it's
thinking
like...
of Saddam Hussein.
Can you just let me get a word out? My God. My God. There was, you know the meme where it's like a dude and his girlfriend are walking and then he sees a hotter girl so he turns around and looks at her? Hey, buddy.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Oh!
There's the doorbell.
Can we not answer it?
Our downstairs neighbors will answer it. Because they also got their doorbell wrong.
Okay.
It's probably... People have like Optimum
Optimum
comes to our door like 3 times a year.
I just worry if it's our landlord.
I mean, it could be, I suppose. But
I think our house is just such a mess all the time that it is... And we have a lizard that is illegal to own.
This is good. It's not illegal to own it. It's just that
Well, it's illegal to have it.
It's not illegal.
That's what I'm saying. It's not illegal to own, but it's not legal to have in our apartment.
Even that's not true. It's against the rider that we signed for our lease.
Yeah. It's lease illegal.
Illegal. What were you saying? Halloween?
Oh, like...
Meme?
Oh, yeah. So I saw a meme that was like, it was Jack Skellington with Sally, and they were walking, and then he was turning back and looking at the corpse bride. And I also thought, like, I love heroines, as you know.
Flowing through your veins, yeah, I know.
And, like, Sally, to me, like, she was independent, and she kept on, like, disobeying her dad, and, like, she would literally tear her body apart so she could, like, get away from him or whatever. But she also, to me, was just so boring. Like, all she did was run away.
Was The Corpse Bride also Tim Burton?
Yeah.
Although I don't think Tim Burton directed Nightmare Before Christmas.
It was the same style with, like, the claymation and stuff.
I think he wrote a poem and then that was based off of that. Anyway, doesn't matter. If memory serves of The Corpse Bride, I've also seen that movie. The movie was pretty mediocre, I thought.
The Corpse Bride wasn't great either, no.
Yeah, no.
But
I think Nightmare Before Christmas was probably a better movie.
And that's the problem. Like, The Nightmare Before Christmas, I thought a lot of the elements were really creative. Like, with the mayor that has 2 different faces that he turns around.
Yeah,
like,
Two-Face Mayor.
That was cool.
Harvey Dent.
And, you know, the fact that there's, like, trees and each tree is a holiday.
Didn't Tim Burton do a Batman movie? I think he did 2 Batman movies. I think he did the Val Kilmer ones or maybe the Keaton ones. Let me look it up.
He does love Keaton. That's
Keep talking.
Beetlejuice. Anyway, my point is...
There you go.
My point is that The Nightmare Before Christmas was such a cool idea and so awesome, but, like, it just wasn't... I don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, it doesn't get... I don't know. Like, they made all the Christmas toys Halloween themed, which I thought was fucking adorable, and, like, what they did was so creative and cool. And yet, for some reason, like, and I've seen, baby showers that are based off of The Nightmare Before Christmas, where it's like, we're welcoming our little nightmare, and it's, like, Nightmare Before Christmas theme, and I'm like, that's fucking adorable, but there's something about it that's, like, it's not creepy enough, or it's not, like, goth enough, or Halloween enough.
Interesting. You need more macabre.
Yeah, like...
Well, I mean, it's mostly a kid's holiday. Keep in mind.
I know. But, like the Addams Family is a kid's movie, and they, I think, they're perfect.
Yeah, all right. So, Tim Burton directed Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Came out June 19th.
He loves Keaton.
Yeah.
And like Beetlejuice, I thought, I mean, obviously Beetlejuice isn't for kids, but I thought Beetlejuice was just so weird and cool, and I feel like it was a cool movie, but The Nightmare, I don't know what it was about The Nightmare Before Christmas, but it just, like, I want to like it so bad, but I don't. And it's, like, it's right up my alley, because Halloween is my favorite holiday, like, the main character is, like, they live in a Halloween town, like, what could be better?
Yeah, he also directed...
I don't know, and I love Clay.
Batman Returns. Again, Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, Danny DeVito was the Penguin, Christopher Walken was
Ooh, I love that Danny DeVito Penguin.
There you go.
Where he, like, bleeds, or, like, he, like, just leaks this, like, black saliva. It's disgusting. I like that movie a lot. My dad showed that to me, and that's, like, the only Batman I remember.
Cool. Fun.
Anyway, because the Penguin was just so fucking disgusting. I couldn't get it out of my head for years.
I'd say probably DeVito's second grossest character.
Who's the first?
Oh, Frank Reynolds. Yeah. He cuts his toenails with a knife. But anyway.
Well, you peel yours off with your fingers, so maybe don't.
Listen, let's not... I see further by standing on the shoulders of giants. That's what I say to that.
Okay.
Apparently you can just say anything to anything. So...
Anyway.
If I fits, I sits, says Jess.
Yeah, I feel like... Why? It's only 45 minutes. Why are you holding it as though you're about to sign off? Why were we talking about The Night Before Christmas?
I asked you if you had a favorite.
Who's your mascot?
Yeah, I've always been a big... From Boston. Really? I'm sorry, am I boring you? 4 words into my sentence?
Wait, do you remember that movie with the Sandman movie, but, like, it was a kid's movie and they were, like, riding horses and shit? Oh, God. I think it was a movie where a bunch of characters came together. Like, I think the Tooth Fairy was in it, and...
You're thinking of Spy Kids.
No, fuck
Yeah,
me.
no, that was some Jack Frost or Santa Claus something. I didn't see it.
No, I think it was called Jack Frost. Or
was it animated?
God damn it. It was animated, but I don't know. I thought it was Jack Frost. But there are a bunch of characters, and, like, the Tooth Fairy is one of them, and that's literally all I remember. Jack Frost and the Tooth Fairy, and these nightmare horses that were literally nightmares.
I think there was a Jack Frost movie with Michael Keaton where he played a snowman. He was turned into a snowman after spoiler alert, he died and then turned into a snowman.
That's not what we're talking about, though.
Well, that's what you get when you Google Jack Frost movie, so I'm doing my best.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I think the Sandman is a really cool concept. I don't know much about him, but it's, he might be my favorite, actually.
All right.
I'm going to take away Jack Skellington because, again, there's something about him that I find him hard to...
Is it Rise of the Guardians? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes!
Jesus.
Yes, that's Jack Frost, though. I'm pretty sure.
Sure, I think so. I mean, he's holding what looks to be...
Babe, I saw the movie. It's Jack Frost.
Maybe a sickle or a scythe.
That's him.
Made of ice.
Yeah, no,
with like a staff.
I'm telling you, I saw the movie.
Or maybe it's a shepherd's crook. Anyway, so I never saw it.
Of course.
There's apparently a lot of fan art of him and Elsa.
Oh, that's cute.
I don't think it's cute. I think it's porn. I don't think it's cute.
It's so interesting that people are just like, I'm an artist and I have a real hard-on for something that doesn't exist yet. I'm just going to create it.
I think there's a long and storied history of artists being depraved, mentally unstable, and deviants of all forms.
I get it.
Yeah. You're looking at it.
I'm looking at it.
I guess I'm looking at it.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not looking at it.
You are it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have, paint is all over my hands right now.
And you have no moral scruples. There you go.
Oh my God, is someone downstairs?
In our apartment? No.
Oh God.
Anyway, this seems like as good a time as
what was I saying?
Stop.
Anyway, look up The Nightmares.
I'm not...
Okay, fine, whatever. The Nightmares in that movie are, like, M-A-R-E, get it? And, I guess that's how you spell nightmare in the first
That's how you spell nightmare and mare like a horse.
Yeah, they're horses.
Yeah, no, I got
they're
it.
They're night horse.
No, I got it. I do get it.
Anyway, so I think the Sandman, so what was your answer? Sorry?
Who fucking cares?
I do.
You don't. I was four words into my answer and you yawned and then started on your own tangent.
You made a big deal about me yawning, which I hate when you do. So just please, who's your guy?
See you later, pod racers.
No, tell me.
It's just a leprechaun. I don't know.